Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, August 16th, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2023. East Pacific Tropical Storm Hilary. Here we're looking at the spaghetti models for the early tracks. Wow, it could be unprecedented. Record rain could be coming to the desert Southwest in just a few days. Keep calm. It's boom time. ABC News changes its headline amid backlash after saying climate change can't be blamed for the Maui wildfires. Wow, what a shift in the narrative. Climate activists took to social media and objected to ABC's original headline, demanding that they return it to the false narrative that climate change caused wildfires, which were actually caused by high winds and a downed power line. Potentially severe storms in Twin Cities Wednesday night, so heads up, Minneapolis. The Twin Cities saw right around 90 Wednesday with dew points in the 60s and wind speeds of 15 to 25 miles per hour, and storms will quickly move in and move out of the state by midnight. So heads up, severe weather leaves one dead and tens of thousands without power in North Carolina. We reported on some of this damage in our last podcast, and here you can see, well, a big tree crushing a house. Severe weather causing power outages affecting nearly 2,500 people in Duluth, Minnesota today. And here is the power outage map. Let's update this. Good news. The number of homes without power is decreasing. Just under 20,000 in North Carolina, 15,000 plus in California, and much less around the world. So good news on the power outage front this evening. Here is the hail map for Tuesday, August 15th. Big winter chicken dinner, South Carolina. We had 27,460 reports of hail 1 inches or larger across the country. Charlotte, North Carolina came in at number 2. Baltimore, Maryland, also one of the sites. Raleigh, North Carolina, Virginia Beach, New Orleans, and Mobile. So heads up, put your helmets on. Moving over to the tropical update, we have 2 disturbances. Number 1, 30% chance of formation in 48 hours, 50% chance in a week. And the same goes for disturbance number 2. So we could have 2 hurricanes barreling our way here in the Atlantic. Over in the Eastern Pacific, we already have Tropical Storm Hilary that is forecast to barrel up the Baja coast and swipe Southern California, bringing heavy rain to the southwest region. Fernanda, let's take a look at some of the paths. Absolutely going to be moving east towards nobody. But Hilary is the big winter chicken dinner. Here are the models moving it up into Baja, and we have some extended forecasts from other sources, including the spaghetti model. Hilary is a potential to bring impacts to Baja California Peninsula and portions of the southwestern U.S. this weekend. Although it is too soon to determine the location and magnitude of rainfall and wind impacts, interest in these areas should monitor the progress of Hilary and updates for the forecast. And we know about Hilary now, don't we? Now, most of the tracks, the spaghetti models, are moving it straight up here through Southern California into the Central Valley here, straight up into Tahoe. But some of the tracks move it a little east towards us, and some of them are moving offshore. So in a day or two, I would say in 72 hours, right around here, we're going to have a really good picture on where Hilary is going. But in the meantime, the models are tight. Be prepared, Southern California, for a record flooding event, as well as western Arizona and southern Nevada. Like in the Lake Mead region, we could be filling Lake Mead with 2, 3, even 5 feet of water from this single event. Here is the NOAA total precipitation for the next 168 hours, and you can see that portions of the Baja Peninsula could pick up in excess of 10 inches of rain here. Areas in the Southern California as well as Southern Nevada could be picking up to 5 inches in some localities. So this could be a major flash flooding event. And please be prepared for the eventualities as this is coming in just a few days. Full forecast now. Northwest heat and fire weather threats. Upper Midwest storms and southwest monsoon. Boom. Strong high pressure across the Northwest continues to produce dangerous heat, gusty winds, unusually hot and dry conditions, and the threat of dry thunderstorms is keeping fire weather threats elevated to critical as well. Strong to severe thunderstorms in the upper Midwest will be capable of primarily damaging winds and large hail. Brief heavy downpours in the southwest could cause flooding as we await Tropical Storm Hilary. And let's take a look at the models. You can see some severe weather up there in central Canada is going to be moving east, obviously. A small Alberta clipper will dump down through the Great Lakes into the northeast through the early weekend, bringing a moist Friday and Saturday to most of New England. But take a look at what's showing up on the southwest of the map here. 494 millibar Hurricane Hilary. 448 there. Definitely going to be a Cat 1 or 2 as it approaches. And it's going to rafe its way up Baja and make contact with northern Baja on Monday morning, as it moves into Southern California Monday afternoon and potentially up through Nevada and the Tahoe region by Tuesday. So that is the current GFS track of potential Hurricane Hilary, bringing epic record flooding to Southern California and Southern Nevada in the coming days. So stay tuned for more updates. Oh yeah, and there's some snow on the models. Take a look at this. Could be up to 16 inches for the high elevations of Alberta through the weekend. Now, August 16th, 2023, inflation detected at Torfajokul volcano. Icelandic Met Office reported that inflation has been detected in the Torfajokul volcano. This inflation started around the middle of June, and the inflation has now reached 40 millimeters, quite significant because it is centered directly around that volcanic complex. How fast this is going to evolve is difficult to know, since the last eruption took place in 1477. And that was probably an eruption as a result of magma injection from Bartabunga volcano. The last eruption in Torfajokul itself might have happened as early as 1170. So this is a rarity that we could be seeing some of these volcanoes in Iceland waking up. Here is the seismic profile of the country as we're looking. Most activity is on the Reykjanes Peninsula. Down here is the Torfajokul volcano here. Just a few earthquakes in the last 12 to 24 hours. Big uptick here in another volcano a little north of Reykjanes, where we've seen a flurry of activity, but nothing significant. And we'll come over here to the Global Volcanism Program to take a look at Torfajokul at the eruptive history. There's that 1477 March eruption at VEI2. 1170 was probably the unique confirmed eruption of the volcano itself, and very little information except for 2 VEI3s, one potentially in 870 and another in 150 AD, helping to end the Roman Empire. Hello. Now, Kīlauea summit rumblings. Earthquake swarm observed Tuesday south of the main crater at Kīlauea. Let's take a look at that earthquake swarm. This is the last 24 hours here, and we'll go out 7 days, all magnitude, and you can see there is a significant uptick at Kīlauea. The eruptive activity just ceased there a few weeks ago, and it looks like more magma is moving into the system, and a new eruptive phase should begin anytime now. So that is our Kīlauea update. Let's go back to 1 day, all magnitude, and get a more realistic view of the Earth. We do have some big rumblers happening out here at Vanuatu. Earlier yesterday, we had a 5.2 at depth, 224 kilometers. That's a blot echo. Shortly thereafter, up at the surface, closer to the surface at 190 kilometers, a larger 6.5. And the good news is that there's been an aftershock at 110 kilometers, which means this event is over. But you can see how it moves from blot echo depth at 224 kilometers, several hours later up to 190 kilometers with a lesser finishing quake at 110. Overall, no other quakes of note. Some activity here in the southern Kamchatka, 5.0 in Russia. Very quiet in the U.S. And the whole world overall. Space weather news update. We don't have much to look at. Well, a few sunspots on the disk. Here's the latest HMI intensity. Pretty significant spot here, and another complex here, which is very inactive as it's Earth-facing, has been typical. What's turned around the limb is a couple tiny sunspots, nothing significant. And we are at solar max from now to the end of the year at least. And the sun is quiet, not a beast in the least. Take a look at that. We're in the B range now. Quite embarrassing for solar max on solar cycle 25. The 3-day geomagnetic forecast is flat. Telemetry is quite weak. We did have a little perturbation in the BZ earlier today, brought KP up to 3.3, and now we're falling back to psychic. Worldwide volcano news update. Well, we updated you on Kīlauea, which is potentially about to have another eruptive phase. And let's see what's going on worldwide. We've got Dukono, Sangay, Liwotolo, Bagana. Dukono to 7,000 feet, nothing significant. Sangay, volcanic ash advisory. Liwotolo to 6,000. Bagana puffing to 10,000 tonight. We also have Santo Huito, Fuego, Semaru, Reventador, Mayon, and more. Suanos Hima puffing to 6,000. Sabancaya to 29,000. Pretty significant there. Holy macaroni. Mayon, no height given. Santo Huito to 19. Fuego to 19. Ubainas to 23. Reventador to 15. Sangay to 19. Sabancaya to 23. And there we have the interesting overlay there that is determining the height of the plume. And that's a plume height boom. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. No bud cake. Poor guy. Now, we just grounded Al because we knew he would be upset about the next title here of the next headline, calling out the climate scam. A Princeton professor, an MIT scientist, and a Nobel Prize winning physicist, one after the other. Take a look at August 16th, Cap Allen's expose on the topic. Two prominent climate scientists recently argued in testimony that new EPA rules to cut CO2 emissions will be disastrous for the country, not for scientifically justifiable reasons. There is no climate catastrophe. There is an economic catastrophe in the form of the Green New Deal and the fact that we're trying to go completely renewable. This is going to cause millions of people to starve and freeze to death in the coming years. Check it out. Links will be below. Save the date, ladies and gentlemen. September 16th and 17th, 2023, Crestone, Colorado. The 34th annual free event. 9 a.m., 9 p.m. for several days in a row. Donations welcome. The Crestone Energy Fair, the longest continuous renewable energy fair on the planet, will happen for the 34th time, September 16th and 17th. Reimagine self, village, nature. If you've never been to an environmental, renewable, alternative building conference, well, this is the one to go to. Trust me on that. The annual Crestone Energy Fair is a San Luis Valley tradition for more than 30 years. It's a free event. It showcases innovative ideas around construction, energy, and regenerative living from all around our region. Join us in this unforgettable celebration of music, performance, arts, culture, wellness, food, family, community, and sustainable living. It's like no event you will ever be at. If you've never felt at home, this will be the event you will feel at home. Now, Saturday, I'll be giving a panel and speaker discussion, bringing the soil back to life, how to build a Johnson-Su bioreactor, and that's going to happen sometime mid-afternoon. On Sunday, Lee and I will take the stage to talk about reclaiming your sovereignty, how to become more self-sufficient, and that should be an interesting and enlightening talk. They need volunteers. They need vendors. If you want to be involved, please do not delay. Go to www.crestoneenergyfair.org. Fill out the forms and get started. Please if you are a volunteer, you get to eat free all weekend. You can stay free all weekend. Trust me, we will hook you up. And that is a community boom. To knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned and we need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. Watch all of our podcasts commercial free in one place. And be safe. We love you. And that is a boom to knowledge. See you in Crestone, Pilgrim.